Hi everyone, welcome to this session. In this session, we are going to solve the problem set for short-term financial planning and explain their solutions. So we have, in this chapter, we have 5 learning objectives. Let's explain this. To understand why the firm needs to invest in net working capital, show how long-term financing policy affects short-term financing requirements, trace a firm's resources and uses of cash and evaluate its need for short-term borrowing, develop a short-term financing plan that meets the firm's need for cash, evaluate the cost of various sources of short-term financing. Well, this chapter is from Fundamental of Corporate Finance, 6th edition, written by Brearley, Myers, and Marcus. So we have selected a set of problems from this chapter and let's solve them. So in the first problem here we have cash conversion cycle problem. So the problem is calculate the accounts receivable period, accounts payable period, inventory period, and cash conversion cycle for the following firm. So here we have data and I provide equation for each period. So let's solve it. For inventory period, we need to calculate inventory period. This will be equals to inventory, here inventory 550 divided by annual cost of goods sold. Here we have annual cost of goods sold and we will calculate its daily amount and we are going to use 365 as a unit of year. So this will be inventory period. And receivable period, and this is going to be number of days inventory span, a product span in your inventory. So receivable period receivables period will be calculated as accounts receivable, here 110 will be divided to annual sales, daily annual sales, which is 5,000 divided by 365. And this also will be in terms of days. And payables period will be equal to, here you have accounts payable 270 divided by annual cost of goods sold per day. So again 4,200 divided by 365. So if you calculate each of these, then plug the figures in this equation and find the cash conversion cycle. I skipped this part. I left this for you to complete this problem. So the next one. We have a problem about compensating balances. Here's the problem. The stated bank loan rate is 8%, but the loan requires a compensating balance of 10% on which no interest is earned. What is the effective interest rate on the loan? What happens to the effective rate if the compensating balance is doubled to 20%? So either you may use this equation or in a different way you can also solve it, but let's use this equation. 1 plus, let us assume the borrow fund is 100. So if it is 100, actual interest paid will be here as you see, it is 8%. So 8% of 100 will be 8. So this is going to be 8 actual interest paid. Borrowed funds available on the other hand. So till here, it says compensating balance is 10%. So 10% of 100 will be equal to 10. So which means 90 will be available fund, borrowed available fund here. So this is going to be your annual. I will write here. Let me write to M minus 1. So this M turns out to be 1. It is because 8 to 90 will be annual cost. So from this you can find its result will be 8.89%. So in the second part of the problem, it says, what if compensated balance is double? So then the second part, let me solve here. So again, 1 plus 8 will remain the same, but here 90 will be 80. How? It is because instead of 10% compensating balance, now we have 20% of compensating balance. So this is going to be 20. 100 minus 20 will be equal to 80. So from this, then you will find your interest, so which is equals to 10%. So the next one, you can check your solution here. So here we have another problem. So a firm sells its accounts receivables for a factory at a 1.5% discount. The average collection period is 1 month. What is the implicit effective annual interest rate on the factoring arrangement? Suppose the average collection period is 1.5 months, 1.5 months. How does this affect the implicit effective annual interest rate? So let's start to solve. The discount is 1.5%. But the firm collects 1 month earlier than it would otherwise. Okay. So which means suppose the stated price is 100 with the factor the firm receives 98.50 immediately. How we calculate this? This is equals to 100 minus 100 times 1.5%. Okay. So otherwise, the firm extend 1 month of credit to its customers, but receive then receives $100. So the implicit monthly interest rate, the implicit monthly interest rate R is defined by, now we receive $98.50, so this should be equal to 1 plus R 200. So from this, your R will be slightly higher than 1.5%, which is equals to 1523. So therefore, the effective annual, this is monthly, and the effective annual rate is determined as follows: 1 plus R effective annual rate will be equal to 1 plus monthly interest rate to 12. So from this is going to be 101523 to 12 will be equal to 1.1989, which is equals to return interest rate, effective annual rate will be equal to 19.89% annually. All right. So the second part of the problem here, suppose the average collection period is not 1 month, but 1.5 months. So how does this will affect? So let me show you here again. 1 plus R effective annual rate. Now then this will be equal to 1 plus R 2 to 12 divided by 1.5. Now what does we mean by this? Why we divide 12 by 1.5? It is because we want to know how many 1.5 months we have within a year, and this should be equal to 8. So 12 divided by 1.5, this will be going to 8. That means there are 845 days in a year. So from this equation, if we plug the figures, 1 plus, what was the monthly effective annual rate? It was 0.01523 to 8, and this will be equals to 1.1285. From this, effective annual rate will be equal to 12%, 12.85%. So the next one, you can also see the solution here. So we have another problem. It's about bank discount. So what is asked here is a bank discount loan has a quoted annual rate of 6%, So A, what is the effective rate of interest if the loan is for 1 year and is paid off in one payment at the end of the year? So A, if the loan, let us assume loan is 100, so for every $100 of stated loan, the borrower receives 96 dollars, and as a result of repay 100 in a year. So why 96? It is because this is 6% of 100 will be equal to 6. This is going to be interest. So we are going to receive $94 instead of 100. So at the end of the year, we are going to pay 100. So the effective annual interest rate, will be 6, the amount we paid at the beginning, and 94, not 100, because we received 94. So this is going to be 0.0638, which means 6.38%. As you see, we have a slightly higher rate than quoted rate. It is because we received 94 instead of 100 at the beginning of the period. So B, what is the effective rate of interest if the loan is for 1 month, not 1 year? So how we are going to solve this? If the loan is monthly, then the effective annual rate will be equal to this 1 divided by 1 minus annual interest rate divided by n to n minus 1. So let's plug the figures here. 1 divided by 1 minus your annual interest rate, it was given as 6%, divided by 12, because we are doing the monthly period. So this is going to be minus 1. So the result of this will be equals to 6.20%. All right. So another question. We have another problem about compensating balance. So let's see. A bank loan has a quoted annual rate of 6%. However, the borrower must maintain a balance of 25% of the amount of the loan, and the balance does not earn any interest. So A, what is the effective rate of interest if the loan is for 1 year and is paid off in one payment at the end of the year? And B, what is the effective rate of interest if the loan is for 1 month? Now, again, consider a loan of 100. So the interest we should pay over a 1 year period, interest for 1 year will be 6% of 100, which is 6. So the amount actually available is the amount actually available is 75. Why 75? It is because 25% of quoted loan will be allocated by the bank. So 100 minus 25 compensating balance will be equal to 75. So therefore, the effective annual rate is 6 divided by 75, which is equals to 8%. So B. What is the effective rate of interest if the loan is for 1 month? So for this, the firm will pay interest of 6% divided by 12, which is 1.5% per month. If the loan amount has a stated balance of $100, interest is 50 cents or $0.5 per month. Then the effective annual interest rate is 1 plus 50 cents, which is interest divided by $75 to, this is going to be interest rate, to 12 minus 1. This is going to be 8.30% annual interest rate. So let's see what else we have. We have some problem with cash budget. So here we have forecasting collections. Here is a forecast of sales by a National Bromide for the first 4 months of 2010. Figures in thousands of dollars. So month 1, 2, 3, 4 cash sales and sales on credit. So that means in the first month you collect your sales in cash by an amount of 15 and 100 by an amount of credit. So let's see what we have. On average, 50% of credit sales are paid for the current month, 30% in the next month, and the remainder in the month after that. What are expected cash collections in month 3 and 4? So they ask us the amount of cash collected for this month. So let's calculate. For month 3, So what we have in case of month 3, it is sure that we are going to collect 18,000 of sales in cash. So it says 50% of credit sales are paid for in the current month. So 50% of $90,000 will be collected plus 30% the next month, 30% here, 30% in the next month, and the remainder in the fourth after that, in 4 months after that. So that means 30% of previous this month and 20% of this month will be collected here. So 30% of 120 plus 20% of 100,000. This will be equals to $119,000. Similarly, in month 4, so 14,000 will be collected in cash, and half of sales on credit here, 70,000. 30% of previous month amount, and 20% of 120,000. And this is going to be $100,000. All right, I think it's clear. The next problem. So in this problem, we have somehow logical statement here. So let's solve this logical statement. If a firm pays its bills with a 30-day delay, what fraction of its purchases will be paid for in the current quarter? In the following quarter, what if its payment delay is 60 days? So we will solve this logical problem in this way. A 30-day period, is 1/3 of a quarter. So 1/3 of the purchases will be paid in the next quarter, and this is going to be the next quarter, and 2/3 of purchases will be made in the current quarter. Similarly, if this is a 60-day period, which is the second part of the question, then 60 days is 2/3 of a quarter, and that means 2/3 of purchases will be paid, next quarter, and 1/3 of purchases will be paid in the current quarter. All right. Next one. The last problem here we have short-term planning. Paymore Products places order for goods equal to 75% of its sales forecast in the next quarter. What will be orders in each quarter of the year if sales forecast for the next 5 quarters are as follows? So it's very easy. So this is we need to find orders. So order for the first quarter will be 75% of the next quarter estimate. So this is going to be 75% times 360. Okay, and for this one, this is going to be 75% times this one, and for this one, this is going to be 75% of this one, and for the fourth quarter, this is going to be 75% of this one. Okay, so it was easy. So this is the end of the session. Thanks for watching.